Great, thanks everyone. So we're moving into the next session. It'll be led by Climate Resilient Communities, and I'm excited to pass it off to Camille Lang, the Director of Outreach and Communication for CRC, to get us started with the next session. Thank you.
All right. Hey, San Mateo County. How's it going? Hey. It's so lovely to see so many familiar faces and new faces. I've had the privilege of working in San Mateo County for the last 5 years of my career, and to see summits like this continue to be maintained and packed to the brim and folks waiting out in the lobby, it's just really heartwarming that we got this, we're doing it together. So thank you for being here today. At Climate Resilient Communities, you heard Violet talk about how we navigate hard to find partnerships and we maintain them long-term over time. The activity that I have planned for us today will help us institutionalize how we partner together and build a tool that we all can refer back to moving forward. But why are we talking about partnerships? Well, we need to map out how our partnerships work in our community. What does an equitable, so thinking about what an equitable community engagement model might look like, we design our equitable community engagement model at Climate Resilient Communities. It's designed by the community, for community, and in community. I want to take a moment, raise your hand if you feel like you have been a part of CRC's equitable community engagement model. Look at that. Ooh, okay, that's exciting. We have to do this in community, and that's what keeps it community-led moving forward, is when we're asking residents first and then building upon what that partnership looks like based off of all the knowledge, all the tools, and all the resources we have within our county. Our partnerships matter across our sectors. Residents are just asking for resources. They just need to get by day to day. And so knowing how we work across our sectors can be tremendously impactful for the residents that we serve in San Mateo County. Each sector plays a unique role that we've already talked about. I know in my table group we were talking about each sector and how that unique relationship between that sector and residents and that sector and other sectors really impacts how things happen in a community. Today, you're going to be navigating partnerships across sectors, thinking about government, nonprofit, private, and academia. You have a little sticker on your name tag, or you should. I'm sorry if you don't, but you should. That represents your sector. For the activity that we're going to do until lunch, I want you to find a table group that represents all sectors. So you might be sitting with people that you know very well. You might be sitting with people that maybe you've only read their newsletter in your inbox. I want to make sure that we're all sitting at the same table and mapping out these partnerships. The goal I've set out for us with our session today is, as one community in San Mateo County, let's map out our partners and commit to community collaboration. How does that goal sound? Yeah? Okay. Ooh, okay, that's great. So we're going to make a tool together today. We're going to be using Miro board to map out the partnerships that exist based off of specific projects that you're working on now in San Mateo County. There will be one person per table, or we can break up into smaller groups of like 3 to 4 people, to have one person with a laptop or someone that's comfortable with Miro board to be taking notes in that space, and I'll explain more about that. And there's also CRC staff at tables to help facilitate as well. If you're a CRC staff person ready to facilitate, could you raise your hand? Look at that team. Oh, yay, my people. Awesome. All right, so we're going to be going through a partner mapping activity. You'll scan the QR code or go to the bit.ly link that's down there below. I'll have it on a future slide too, so if you want to be looking at it now as I explain the instructions, you are welcome to. I will note that I do not like using Miro board on my phone, and so if you don't like using using these complex apps on your phone, the bit.ly link will work for your laptop as well. Let's see, okay. When you log into Miro board, you'll likely see this little pop-up. You have to use an email address to enter the Miro board, but it should get you through once you enter any email address you'd like. All right, let me walk you through our the activity we're going to do. I want you to be as specific as possible with the project you're going to focus on. So that way when we're mapping out our partnerships, we're really thinking critically of who is in contract with us to get this work done, who is being impacted by this work as we get it done, and then also who is on the outside and still being impacted indirectly by these projects. I've been instructed to talk slowly. This is not my skill set, so I will do my best. In green, so when you enter the Miro board, you're going to use a box to add your project. The project I have on the slide is the Environmental Justice Element Update. CRC has had the privilege to partner with the City of East Palo Alto on to lead outreach and engagement. So CRC's project is in the middle. You can see a strong partnership, so strong that it's actually our contract for this with PlaceWorks. PlaceWorks folks, I see you in the room. Do you want to raise your hand? Hey, partner. Awesome. And then we're also in partnership with the City of East Palo Alto. I think there's a few of y'all from East Palo Alto. Raise your hand if you're a part of that partnership. Hey, partner. Cool. And you can see the lines clearly connecting us from the CRC project to both of those partners up at the top of the screen. They're in red because they are current project partners. There's a key at the bottom that's clarifying how to write those lines. Thinking more about how we also structured this project to the sub-award to other CBOs that reached niche target communities in East Palo Alto who would otherwise not be a part of the environmental justice planning process. I also mapped down the CBO sub-awards for workshops. You can see that I have a purple post-it note of a key partner for sub-awards, and then I wrote down both of the organizations that we sub-awarded to for this project, Anamantangi Polynesian Voices and Nuestra Casa. Nuestra Casa, do you want to raise your hand? Look at my partners out there. Hey. And then Anamantangi, where you at? I think they're out eating. They just arrived and they're grabbing breakfast. Perfect. They're here, I promise. Another key player in this project is the residents of East Palo Alto. That's our goal with who we are reaching out to. If you're a resident of East Palo Alto and has been a part of this process, raise your hand. Incredible. Hey, partners. All right, and then you can see that the lines between residents and the CBOs we sub-awarded to are in a different color because those are CRC's long-term partners. We have worked with both residents of East Palo Alto as well as both CBOs for several projects to make sure that everyone in East Palo Alto is deeply engaged in the work that's going on at the city level. And so I used a dark black line to connect those partners. Let's see. Another partner that we have, partner that was captured on this is thinking about the data that has been in partnership to inform what policies are on the draft, are a part of the draft policy and what we're looking at in the workshops. A lot of vulnerability data was developed by PlaceWorks and also from different sectors of academia. If you're an academic partner in this room, would you mind raising your hand? Hey, partners. Awesome. Cool. And so you can see that we were using the data, but we knew where that data was coming from. And so that's navigating a partnership, long-term relationship CRC has with using vulnerability data to communicate complex problems in communities. And then we also are building new relationships or have current partnerships with academia to get this work done for the EJ element in East Palo Alto. The rest of this is all kind of thinking more tangentially, right? There's the key partners and then there's also the subcategories. You're thinking about like how your partners are also working with other partners and if you can connect them to do that as well for your project. So for the EJ element in East Palo Alto, you can see that residents are connected to other CBOs that support East Palo Alto, and they've been connected to those CBOs for a very long time, longer than CRC's been in the community. The other CBOs are also a part of our climate change community team in East Palo Alto that also represent residents, government, and the people we've been workshopping our surveys, presenting back data for the EJ element at. So you can see how that is another partnership that is key to making sure the EJ element reflects resident feedback and continues to be led by the community members of East Palo Alto, as well as the long-term partners that have always been in East Palo Alto helping. How are we feeling about the way I've explained this thing? Are we confused? Okay, great. Yes. Alba, do you have a question? Yeah. With pleasure, yes. So before I show the QR code, okay, when you go into Miro board, you are going to claim your space. I did not put table numbers on the Miro board. I should have, but I went to bed instead last night. And so you're going to instead claim your space. There's a little yellow Post-it note that you'll pull up on Miro board and just say claimed, so that way no one else is typing on your board. There's multiple copies of the board. There's enough for each table. You just got to claim it. And so, as you do this activity, there's the QR code as well as the bit.ly link. And you are going to go around the table, and each of the people that are at the table will share where the project is that you're specifically focusing on in San Mateo County, what partners are involved, who is not involved and why, and what challenges or barriers are you noticing at this point in the project. I encourage you to be as specific as possible. If you just say East Palo Alto, you will end up with the pile of spaghetti, not a real project map. So be specific. It'll help think about the partnerships, and maybe think about the top 3 partners or the ones that you're in contract with as a starting point. The point of saying this out loud as well as documenting it online is so that way we get to talk to each other about the projects we're working on and support each other's challenges, barriers, and the solutions to maybe partnering a little differently moving forward. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to all of you to complete this activity. We're going to come back together at 12. Yeah, 12. That seems good. So you have lots of time to get to know each other. And as a reminder, just double check what sticker dots are at your table. And if you're seeing like lots and lots of green, lots and lots of red, stand up and move to a different table so that way we're diversifying our partners at the table. All right, let's do it. I've earned the badge of being a speaker in Cuba. It's so exciting. All right, everyone. We're going to slowly wrap up our activity. Please say thank you to your facilitator, the person that maybe learned Miro board for the first time. We're grateful for it. And I want to also express gratitude for everyone that was able to pivot through this activity and still prioritize the excellent conversations of navigating our partnerships. I hope you're leaving the space in this activity knowing a little bit more about each other and the projects you're working on and how to better partner together. If you go into the Miro board, or I guess my task after, wow, everyone got very quiet very quickly. Hi, everyone. How's it going? As a follow-up to the Climate Summit, you'll have access to our synthesized Miro board. My task after this is to combine all the boards together into one space so we have one partner map for all of San Mateo County. I am really excited to see this visual resource be created in community, and it makes me really excited to see what we have ahead of us, knowing that we have really hard projects that are very long and need a lot of partners to get done in this community. So thank you again, everyone, for participating in this. All right, round of applause. Thank you. Can I just take one? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to transition back to Betty, who has very exciting news ahead of us.
Yeah, so thanks everyone for a great first half of the summit. We are going to break for lunch shortly. I also wanted to mention Jane Batty of Half Moon Bay. She brought over 1,000, or she didn't bring 1,000 pounds of apples, but 1,000 pounds of apples were just harvested, and she brought some of them. So it's great. Yeah, it's apparently harvest season on the coast of Half Moon Bay. So we'll break for lunch shortly. Lunch is served right behind us in the same area as breakfast, I think to help with the flow of traffic because we're pretty cozy right now. If you can, please exit at the doors in that corner and then come back through the doors on the other side, closer to registration. The serving tables behind us are double-sided as well, so feel free to go up and down both sides of the table. Feel free to sit wherever you'd like as well, either in this space or in the public dining room in this event space as well. There are also nice tables outside of the building. Stanford also mentioned that there are a lot of nice sculptures and artwork around campus if you'd like to take a walk. Please just remember to come back in this room by 1:15 p.m. sharp for our community spotlight session. Great, so yeah, thank you all. And once again, just please exit through these doors if possible. Thank you.